So we got the vanities installed the other day, and haven't had mirrors for a while. So decided I was going to trim up my beard, and then went a little haywire and I lost everything, and which I'm fine with. But I'll tell you what, my girls and Natalie are just freaking out. They're like, "You look so weird. You should grow it back. What happened to your chin? It's so small." So I guess I got to grow a beard back now, which is funny because I've never had one before, ever. I've had some scruff, and then we started building the house, and COVID going on and everything, I just started letting it grow, and I keep it trimmed, and then it got a little out of hand. It was like poofing out the front and everything, and so I was like, I'm done with this. I tried to shave the part that was poofing out, and it looked really awful, so I went ahead and just cut it, and now everyone's wanting me to grow it back, so we shall see. Anyway, so today, because we're getting ready to do the concrete coming up here pretty soon, we got to take this door out, because down at the bottom I want to have the finished floor flush with the new slab, and they can't of course get underneath there to make sure they're perfectly flush with it. So I'm going to take that door completely out, take the screen door off, and then I'll take the door out and then just set them in the garage. And I don't know if I'm going to cover this up. Well, I thought about taking the screen door off and getting all the screws out of the door, then tomorrow morning just push it out. But now I was saying just to go ahead and take it all the way off and then just cover it up with a piece of wood. So we'll see. Not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but get that screen door off first. Door is really stuck in there. We put the liquid flashing behind it and to seal up around the frame, and it's really stuck. So I'm going to try and use a pry bar to get that off, hopefully without damaging it. See if you guys can see this is that liquid flashing back there. You can see that as I pull this out, it just stretches. So that's what's holding my door in right now, is just the caulking, just that liquid flashing. It's some strong stuff, so I'm going to get a little blade and cut down there. Maybe that'd make things go easier. Right, finally got that door all loosened up. That liquid flashing is some really strong stuff. So anyways, there's only 2 screws holding in it right now. So the concrete guy is supposed to get about 7 o'clock in the morning, and that'll give me enough time just to get up and take those screws out and pop the door off real quick, and then we'll be able to put it back in probably by the afternoon. So next thing I want to check is I calculated 17.5 cubic yards of concrete, and the more I think about it, you never want to run short. And I was going to make one of those 5x5 pads that I've been making for the beehives, and I got the AC condenser sitting on one. I could use more of those, not only out the beehives. I could use 2 more, but I could also use one on the where the generator is going to go. Now eventually, where the generator and the air conditioner unit's at right now, I want to build a concrete, probably 8 foot out, down along here, clear past where we come out of the garage at. If you remember last year, or year before, whenever it was, we pulled out of there, and you can see where it drops off so bad that we actually bottomed out the camper and ripped the plumbing off the bottom of it. I know I need to raise that up quite a bit, but the idea is to be able to come out, be able to pull through the garage of the camper instead of backing it in, and then just turn around the yard here and get back on the driveway by the garden, and then head on out. So that's, going to happen one of these days. But I do want to put a concrete slab along this back edge. A couple reasons. All the rain we get, this is pretty shallow here. We've had some heavy rains and haven't had any problem with water flowing away from the house. but that would definitely ensure that it flows away from the house and just keeps things nice, and you don't have to mow up against it, things like that. But I can get the AC unit up. You know, it's on this one of those pads that I made, those 5 foot by 5 foot pads, but it would get it up on more of a permanent setup, and then get the generator off the ground too. Future we want to transfer that generator over to like a Generac, an automatic one. This is just a Coleman propane. As a dual fuel, you could use gas or propane. We have set up for propane. Just tapped into the house's propane system, and that's worked just fine. The problem with it though is I can only get about 4 kilowatts out of it in charging, and that's up from the 3 that it had when I originally started it. So I can't get the system to decide to pull more energy, and so if anyone turns on a big appliance inside the house, it shuts everything off, goes back to the batteries, and then the generator, you know, revs and does weird things. And so it's not ideal. It works, but I want to get a better system for it. So getting the Generac set up there. I also want to, you know, the new addition is going to come over, you know, about here somewhere, and I want to wrap a dog box around this to encapsulate those pipes and around to that wall. Ideally, I'd like to actually have a roof that comes off from up there, comes out and all the way down, and then I could incorporate that vent into the roof structure. I can incorporate these pipes a little bit better, but I just don't know quite where that roof's going to come down at. It's 8'6", so there's my 8-foot line, so it should be right about there, and that would put me just below that window, about 10 inches or so, which would be good on a 312 pitch. I just don't know how far out that's going to get me before I hit that 8. I don't know what, I have to check and see how far that'll get me. It should be simple math, but I can't do it in my head right now. Another thing I want to do, talking back to the concrete, I'm going to run a string level across and just measure down and see if I know this area here is a little bit high. I want to make sure that I've got areas that are deeper than 6 inches. I may have to order more concrete. Compare that to the areas that are less than 6 inches. I definitely don't want to have them get out here and I don't have enough. So I've gone around and adjusted the footings a little bit, or the forms. Some are a little bit off. Being out here for a couple days and going through the weather temperature changes, things have shifted and warped. So I've got most of those set back where they need to be. And then Valerie and Sydney will be out here pretty soon. Valerie's going through and just putting tape over all the screws. Reason being that the last time we did this, we had a heck of a time getting the screws back out because they were all full of concrete. So this should make things a bit easier. Not only can we see them because they're covered in tape, but it should protect them from getting any concrete inside there. And they've only got to be on there till tomorrow morning. I'm going to cut a little bit higher below this window just to make sure when they pour they can see exactly where that finished floor is. Because right now it's only, you can see it line right there, just barely. So I'm going to cut this up probably another inch, and then hopefully I'll let them see exactly what they're doing. So up here grabbing some screws, I decided to get started on the front porch area since they're going to be pouring that on Friday. This is 12 foot out, which it matches the side over there. As Nat and I looked at this, we decided we really don't need 12 foot on the front. So we're going to knock it back to 8 feet, which is where that seam is right there. And then we'll be 12 foot on that other side. But I started getting this dug out and leveled. I got a 1-inch drop from this side to this side. So I'll have to figure out how that correlates to dropping back to 8 feet. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. Of course, I already spread my rock out for 12 feet, but that's not a big deal either. But I'll work on that probably a little bit later today as well.
The crew got here about 6:30 and the truck didn't get here till 8. So we've been waiting around a bit, but it's here, it's ready. We're excited to start pouring the second phase. Whatever phase this is. It'll be nice to have these spaces done.
Well, I got back from my appointment, and of course they were done and gone. They didn't saw cut it. I called them and asked if they were concerned about hitting the pipes. We just had the same problem when we did the main slab. Like I told them, the pipe should be down far enough, but I think out here we may actually try to stain this. Or, man, I'm not wearing shoes and this is really hot. We may try to stain it or acid wash it, and then if that doesn't look good, then we're just going to put vinyl planking over the top of it, and that vinyl planking will cover up any crack. Because I have all that rebar in there, if it cracks, it's not going to move and adjust and cause big gaps and like that. It'd just be like a hairline crack, so not a big deal. He asked if I wanted to come out and have him go ahead and saw cut it, and I said it's not required, but it's looking good. So I'll start getting the forms off tomorrow and then start working on the other slab.